Hello, hello, and welcome, or should I say ho, 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 Christmas cousins. I'm Cousin Chad.
And I'm Cousin Seth.
And Cousin Seth, we're back for another Christmas in July episode. I'm really excited about this episode. We've got some housekeeping stuff we've got to go over. We've got amazing guests that we've been working on getting since we started. We're in our 134th episode right now, Seth, which is amazing. This is going to be a fantastic show. So we're going to get right into it. I'm hearing a little bit of feedback. Are you hearing it, or we're okay on your end?
Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, good.
Sure, it is. I know you're in the last couple of days of your former place, so I don't know if they're cutting the Wi-Fi or the internet, getting you guys out of there. Now I think we lost you. We've lost Cousin Chad officially.
There we go.
Oh, there he is. Okay, he's back.
Let me see. Yes, I'm literally like on the floor working right now because I don't have a surface in my house right now, Seth. I'm moving, but the bigger news, let's introduce our special guest. And then I want to talk to Seth. I have another special guest coming live to North Carolina this week, and we'll get into that. But first, let me get into our guest here, Seth. This is our 134th episode already, believe it or not. 134 episodes. What do you think about that, Seth? Are you exhausted?
I am. Just the sheer number, just thinking about that number alone.
When we first started, how long did you think it would be till we'd hit 134? Like 10 years?
Yeah, no, I figured I'd bail out well before that. All right, our faithful audience has seen us hit the 25 episode mark, and I'm out.
And we're out. Well, Seth, from episode 134, we've got a movie review. I've got a new fan rating and review, and I'm going to introduce right now, because today we're diving headfirst into the latest Hallmark Christmas in July release, A Very Vermont Christmas. So who better to join us? We're going to introduce him in a second. I'll tell you all about him. We have the culinary legend himself. We've got Danny Parinello, the King of Grillin, a world-renowned expert chef and barbecue master. He's known for his culinary exploits worldwide, Seth, but we have him today, and he's going to bring his taste of divine cuisine and personality, which is as vibrant as his flavors, to the show. He's rock and roll royalty scion, whose food is said to be touched by the very hand of God. Yes, Seth, it's that good. You've tasted it, you know for sure. And in today's episode, we're not just serving up movie reviews. We're going to be grilling Dan on his Hallmark movie experience. Is this his first foray into the sugary world of Hallmark? Is he a seasoned viewer? Did he adore the festive charm or loathe the predictable plot, or feel nothing at all? Was it a nihilistic experience for him? That's what we're going to do. So I want to introduce him right now. I'm nervous. I'm starstruck. Audience, let's welcome Danny Parinello, the King of Grillin himself. Danny, wow.
Dude, welcome, Danny.
Wow.
I'm supposed to be excited. Hey, what's happening, everybody?
There you go.
Now we're live.
So glad to be
enthusiasm.
Here. I got to tell you, I love the podcast. I mean, come on. This doesn't get any better. And now I'm the 134th episode guest. This is amazing.
That's the big episode.
I set my limit on 137, so I'm glad I finally got here.
Well, you got in before a lot of other relatives who really have been asking to get on the show for a long time.
Well, they don't matter. Who cares?
That's right. Exactly. So just to pull back the curtain, Danny, who, by the way, you could follow him at King of Grillin. That's GRILLIN_NC2. If you're watching on YouTube, we'll have it up there. Although, Seth, nobody watches on YouTube, but we do have 23 million daily listeners, as you know, give or take 22 million. So here's the thing. Danny is my brother-in-law. His wife is sisters with my wife. Seth, your head's about to explode.
It is. I'm still trying to process this. Have been for years, actually.
That's why he wears a hat.
That's right. So it doesn't just go all over the place. Oh, here it goes right now. There we go. So the reason we want to have Danny on, because we love on this show, there's Seth's head exploding. We love having people who it's new to them. They're kind of in their nascency with this Hallmark movie journey. And Danny, let's get into it just real quickly before we get to some housekeeping. Have you seen many Hallmark movies before?
Voluntarily? No.
Right.
But honestly, I've seen bits and pieces. I know there's some specific stars in some of these. Maybe even my cousin Seth probably showed up in a couple. But honestly, this was the first one, beginning to end, that I watched.
Wow. I love that. Okay. So
Yeah.
this is an exciting experience. Seth, he's like how you once were, not too long ago.
Right. Yeah. And you're doing completely out of regular season. I mean, this is smack dab in the summer. And
I figure, you might as well get started. It's like spring training kind of thing,
Exactly. That's right. And when you're a grill master like yourself, this is your hot season, although you do it all year round. So
Yes, I do grill all year round, and it's there's no such thing as grilling season in this house. It is 24/7, 365.
love it. And Seth, you and I have both tasted Danny's food. If anybody's interested at all in grilling or that kind of thing, definitely check him out on Instagram. His food is seriously unbelievable. His hospitality is unbelievable, and he's a fantastic person to boot. I think I probably see you, Danny, outside of my immediate family, almost more than anybody in person. Just last week we were at a concert together.
I would definitely agree with that.
I think so. We just saw G Love last week in Mahali, which was fun. That was a good time.
Amazing show.
And Danny, how about this exciting non-Christmas related news? Someone's coming to visit us in North Carolina in just a few days. Everybody.
I wonder who that is.
Cousin
I mean, we are in Christmas in July, so
That's it.
could it be the summer
present.
Santa?
Yeah, what a
That's
present.
right. The best present of all, Seth coming to visit. Speaking of Christmas in July, Danny, you've been following along with our 23 million daily listeners, Seth's love story. Now,
Yes.
Mrs. X, who is becoming quite the keeper out there, decided to get Seth a surprise Christmas in July gift. How amazing is this? I mean, this is true love.
It must be. I got to tell you. I got to tell you. No, it's fantastic. I mean, she may be the Mrs. X at the moment, but maybe she's the Mrs. Y, as in YES. So,
You never know. Things are changing, developing, growing every day.
absolutely.
Seth, you better be announcing it if that does happen live on air, correct? Live on the show.
Of course. We'll be doing
100%.
the proposal. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I love that. So as you know, today we're going to get into talking about this movie and reviewing, but I was really excited. Shout out to cousin Nini. Obviously, look, she's not a real cousin. She's a Christmas cousin, part of the Christmas Cousins cult. That's our leader, we're learning. She sent us the Swedish review on Apple podcast. So I want to read it here because I love when we get these. And it says, and this really touched me. So, hi, cousin Seth and cousin Chad, cousin Nini here.
Hold on.
Listening.
Hold
Okay.
on.
Yes.
Aren't we supposed to have some like interlude music in the background? I mean,
You're
come
right.
on.
You're 100% right, Danny.
We
You are
need-
100% right.
Seth,
Hang on
do I
one
have to
second.
do everything? What am I now going to do? Music direction and grilling?
I don't know. I think
King of
you
music
just scared
direction.
us off.
Here we go.
Yes, Seth usually does all the heavy lifting around here. Here we go. Let me. I appreciate you stepping up. You're right. Here we go.
Doesn't look like I
A
come
little
on
rock
air.
and roll.
Yeah.
All right, here we go for cousin Nini, rock and roll. Here we go. Hi, cousin Seth and cousin Chad. Cousin Nini here. Still listening to you guys. Keep the Christmas good feelings coming. The outside world has been a bit too real lately, and we all need you both. XO, XO. I absolutely love that, Seth.
I do too. Incredibly sweet.
I promised myself I wasn't going to cry.
Yeah. And cousin Nini, I don't know why I said it like that. Cousin Nini has been with us for a while. It's
Yeah, she was like one of the first people we heard from early on when we first started, and for her to still be with us, yes, Seth, and that we are her escape from the real world, because we don't deal with real topics on this show at all. Actually, Seth, you and I are completely oblivious to what's going on in the real world. I mean, Seth, you're one of the world's wealthiest men. You live in a Howard Hughes-esque bubble.
Yeah, and I'm able to kind of move it over to where I go and when I visit you, and it just
Yeah.
self-contained.
There you go. Danny is mimicking a bubble moving around. Now, Danny, feel free to talk as much as you like. It is an audio medium. So
No, okay.
yes. So, Danny, now you know Seth. You've been charmed by cousin Seth in person, like we all did.
Listen,
with the
I gotta
Seth
tell you,
if
man,
will.
he's a tall drink of water, and
thank you.
he's I gotta tell you, he's a catch, and obviously
He's a
Mrs.
catch.
Y is going to be, or I should say, Mrs. X, soon to be Mrs. Y. Listen, it's fantastic, but it's Seth and I met many years ago, and
Yes.
it's been great. I guess over the past 12 to 18 months, got, I guess, retouched,
Connected.
reacclimated ourselves to each other.
Yeah.
We've seen each other. He's been here a bunch. Can't wait till he arrives back here. Amazing hospitality as like just being friends.
This is great. I got
so
what
cool.
I needed, so thank you, everyone.
Hey man, listen, it's so cool. We had the family get together a little while back.
That was awesome.
Met some great cousins there, but of course my man Seth was there, and just love making the family bigger, so to speak.
I love it.
It's just a great feeling. And then being invited on here, I mean, this has got to be my biggest honor of the last 25 minutes. So this is, an amazing day.
This is fantastic.
And you get honors people that help get us here. So.
Oh,
exactly. Give you here.
Yeah. Listen. Okay.
Seth is always, no matter where he goes on where we're the actual first cousins group, he's the top cousin. On the show here, he's the top cousin. Sometimes I think this podcast just exists to make Seth feel good about himself, which is something he needs. I think he needs that in his life.
There's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
There is not.
I talk to myself in the mirror about 12 hours a day. So, I mean, it's very important.
Seth, would you say interacting with your good old cousin Chad is probably the most positive aspect? One of the most positive. We do have a very positive, glowing relationship here.
We do, yeah. And it's regular. I mean, it's daily, other than when you decided to skip town and go on a cruise.
That's right. That was hard for Seth.
Yeah, but we knew we had a helicopter at our disposal and a helipad on it.
I was just going to say, you could have taken the Quinjet there. I mean, what are you talking about?
Right.
Well, it was weird. When we left out of the harbor, Seth was swimming alongside of us for the first 3 miles until he had to turn back.
I thought it was Diane Nyad at first. So, yeah. But
it was radio silence. I was just like, this is weird. It's eerie. Because we have different variations of group chats going with like their family members and stuff like that. And it was just like, oh my God, it's falling off.
Well, if it's any consolation, Seth, something you might not know, Chad has been here and we're working on an actual clone. So he can always be, with you all the time. The clone is actually going to be getting tickets to Chicago and back as well. So
yes, exactly.
Nice.
Yes.
Because the real Chad doesn't go inland. So the clone, we're programming him to go inland.
Listen, Lake Michigan's right there. So
that's true.
There is a coast.
Danny,
has a coast.
Are you committing to going to Chicago, Danny, if Mrs. X becomes Mrs. Y? Yes. Are you committed?
You break it up a little bit. Listen, if this becomes something, absolutely. But I would love to go there for that. Obviously, the extravaganza. But I suggest a destination wedding to the coast of Carolina.
Yeah, I like that. Let's break the glass. Mazel tov. I love it. It's a good one. So that's perfect. So let's get into the reason why we're here, not just to make it all about Seth, as he often does, Danny. For anybody who listens to the show, they know generally a few minutes in, it's all Seth all the time.
Well, that's really ironic because when you're here, it's all about you all the time. So
that's right.
Right.
Only until Seth gets here.
Right. But I obviously love seeing everybody. And I think one of the greatest things is like seeing all of you together. And it's just like you guys.
Yeah, we have a blast. I mean, I got to be honest with you. Besides some verbal barrages here and there. Oh, there goes my camera. We have a great time. Everybody enjoys each other's company. There's a lot of libations. There's a lot of great food. There's a lot of jokes. And it makes everything so much better. So much better.
It does. It's a very loving environment.
Yes.
It is, right?
Where's the music?
It's good food.
I've got some beer going. Yeah, we got some beer going.
Oh, yeah. That backyard, that setup is amazing.
As a matter of fact, I got to get a better sound system. Sure, I hope you're listening. Send me good sound system. And we can do good microphones out there. We can do the whole thing from the bar.
Live from the Tiki Bar. I love it.
Great.
Okay, that would be fun. So anyway, today we're recording on a Monday. Cousin Seth will be arriving here on Friday. Correct, Seth? Friday.
Yeah.
You're going from Chicago Thursday morning to Cincinnati for a Foo Fighters concert, sleeping for a few hours, driving to North Carolina. We have a full weekend of concerts, surfing, recording, swimming, hanging, ice cream,
Yes.
you name it. And then you're going to drive back. Boating. I forgot boating. Geez, that's right. And then you're going to be driving back on early next week at some point, or flying on your plane. I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm going to drive actually. It's
So wait, hold on.
I find great peace in it. Willie Nelson said used to drive for, I think,
write
for
songs.
hours and just, it's, I kind of have that same thing, I guess, in my head.
So Chad,
yes.
If a Seth leaves Chicago at 5, no.
Right. We are not letting Seth leave after the weekend, Danny. That's the main goal.
I have one of those ankle bracelets from my last twist in jail, so we could definitely hook that to him. So
okay, Seth, is there room? Because I know both ankles already have bracelets on them. We could put it over it, maybe.
One will be away soon.
Awesome. So let's get into this cinematic masterpiece. This is exciting because this is Danny's not only first time on the show, but his first full episode beginning to end. Now, he's seen some movies in his day. I know he's a bit of a movie buff, a movie aficionado. Sorry, Joe, but we're borrowing that phrase because he's a big movie guy. But he's never seen Hallmark ones. Now, is this the best one to start with? No, it's not the best one. Is it a bit of a low-budget summer one? It looks like it might have been done for $100 or so. Did I still love it? I sort of did. But we're going to get into that all. So we're talking about a Very Vermont Christmas. We had to have Danny on because he loves beer. He's got a keg in his backyard at the Tiki Bar. So we open up at a brewery.
Two kegs.
You're right. 2 kegs. Tap. Danny, what will be on, not to digress, which we already are, but what will be on tap this weekend while Seth is in town?
Are we allowed to name people?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
We don't have any beer sponsors.
Our staple setup is always Tropical Lightning. It's an IPA from Wilmington Brewing Company. And we also have Taco Life, which is a Mexican lager, also from Wilmington Brewing Company. Just imagine Corona and or Modelo, but tasting good. And that's what is on tap there.
Yes.
And we also have the margaritas flowing. We also have the tequila shots. I got a brand new bottle of tequila today. And that's already in the freezer for some of those nice shots. And it's going to be a tremendous setup at the bar for the next week or so. So we'll be good.
Exciting, always exciting stuff.
Yeah.
And we have it's awesome. So Seth, you'll stay. You'll extend a little bit, another week or two. That's all.
I'll take his keys when he gets here. So
yeah, exactly. So here we go.
That need me back here, but
we need you here.
Yeah.
We'll handle those.
I'll send for Miss X.
Exactly. She'd have a great time out here. We should get her out here.
I think
unfortunately she can't make it this trip, but we have talked about it, and she's all about. She would come at some point.
Okay. So. Next trip in September. That works. So here we go. We open at a brewery, which is a great start, but her dad is deceased. Not a great start there. And she left. She gave up her ski career to run her family brewery, and the brewery's name is Mogul Joe. That's her dad. It's all about that. So right at the beginning, Danny, you'll see with these movies, the commonalities are tons of decorations, that cozy feel. I like that. I like when you're watching and you kind of feel like you're whisked away from the real world into this. Now, what did you guys think initially off the bat? Decorations, decor, were you feeling it right away, or did it feel like a movie set to you?
Well, the one thing I'm going to say right away, it also takes place, obviously we mentioned ski resort. So there's snow. So, the ultimate Christmas decoration is snow.
Snow, that's true.
So you got that. Yes, they were decorating the brew pub, and it definitely seemed a little hokey. I've been to probably, how long is the show? Because I can't count that high. No, I've been to a lot of breweries. It was an awfully clean brewery.
It was.
There wasn't a lot of smelliness, but once again, a really good part of this introduction. Yes, there were some Christmas decorations and the snow. My favorite part were the dollar bills stapled to the ceiling, a la Key West. So I really like that part.
I was thinking of you because you just got back from Key West and we're saying that place had like thousands of dollars stapled to the wall.
Every bar in Key West has It has to be thousands of dollar bills stapled to the ceilings. Yep.
And when you wanted a beer, you just grabbed 5 off the wall and you handed it over.
I said this one's on Chad, and I grabbed $5, and then they gave me
Exactly.
a little bit like that because that's what in Key West $5 doesn't get you much. So
Yeah, that's true.
but yes, no, I really like that. That was very, very smart move on their part. I got to give that to them. Wasn't expecting it, and it played right because of the brewery aspect.
Yes, I like that. Okay, and Seth, I know you are a member of a beer club, so you
Yes.
love your way around a beer. And
Absolutely.
this is some good
He's
ones.
not only the owner; he's a member.
That's right. I'm hoping on
It's like-
Danny's Tap he gets Hoppy Holidays and Seasons of Spice coming up soon, but we'll get into that. So he reminds Greg comes in. Now Greg's the villain type in the movie. He's her ex-boyfriend. Yes, he's the rival. Brewery owner, and he goes, "Oh, we don't like him right away." He reminds her they're offering to buy Mogul Joe's. Now, Seth, I know you were thinking Mocha Joe's and Latte Larry's from Curb Your Enthusiasm, right?
Yeah, it's all like the entire movie.
Chad, as soon as I heard the name, as you know, Southport, North Carolina, not too far from here, they have Loco Joe's. And I just couldn't help but I'm like, wait a second, Loco Joe's is in this? But no, and then I saw the sign, and there it was, Mogul Joe's.
So and you're thinking Loco Joe, yes.
Yeah,
Seth
I was
is thinking
Loco
Mocha
Joe's
Joe
the whole time, which is really not that good, but it is what it is.
So. Right. And Seth is a huge Curb fan, so that's what you were thinking.
Yeah. Such a great show.
It is such a great show. So anyway, they do the meet cute. Now, Danny, the meet cute is during these shows when they end up bumping into each other randomly. I don't know if you're familiar with that in the rom-coms. So on this one, they go on, I like the name, the Double Dog Dare Run, a little nod to A Christmas Story, which is kind of cool. And they end up bumping into each other. They run into each other getting off the ski lift. Now, on top of that, this is interesting. Normally, there's no logos on these shows. Oh, Danny just got bumped off. No logos. Did you notice what sunglass must have sponsored it? What ski glass?
I did not. I'm going to probably say Oakley. I mean,
close. Seth, did you notice? Because you're a big snowboarder, you would notice a goggle, I thought. Otherwise, they didn't do a good job of product placement.
That Anon or a
No, it was Smith, actually. All Smith goggles. Everybody had Smiths on, which I thought was interesting because they sponsored it clearly because there's no other logo the entire movie. And having worked on camera, one thing, unless they sponsor it, you don't have any logos on.
The one thing I do like to say, though, about this scene when they did have the meet, it was actually a public service announcement. Don't text and ski.
That's right.
Right. Yeah. Everybody knows.
That's right. There are a lot of instances. Don't text and ski or else.
Hey, can I use my prop yet, or am I not allowed?
What's your prop? A beer?
Yeah.
It depends what it is. Oh, okay. Yeah.
What, Danny?
Tonight's beer is from Legion Brewing in Charlotte. It's called Juicy J. It is fantastic.
Really?
What is it? What kind of is it? Ale?
What kind is it? It's me. It's an IPA.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding with you. No, it's an IPA. Had it on tap many times. We went out for a concert out there to Charlotte. We went out for a football game, ate at Legion. Great food. Legion Brewing. Definitely check them out. Multiple locations in Charlotte as well. But Juicy J, a fantastic beer. And I'm able to get it right here in Leland, North Carolina. So that makes it even better. I don't have to drive 3 hours to get it.
Juicy J knows lift operator Lucy.
Yes, I was just going to say Lucy and Juicy. So you know what I mean.
Juicy.
That's
Seth,
kind
what
of
are
why
you
I
drinking
picked
there?
this beer, to be honest with you.
I'm
that's
going
funny.
with the old side true, and I'd probably get flack for it, but I love Blue Moon. I always have.
Is this where I'm supposed to stand up and take my? No, I'm sorry. Wait, no, what?
I haven't taken possession of the next special release from my beer club.
Okay. Well, let me tell you something. Blue Moon, smooth, great white lager. I mean, white beers are not for everybody, but I got to be honest. Yeah. I think a white beer goes down better than most, and Blue Moon is definitely the top of the list.
Yes, yeah, I love it. It's
all right.
Hasn't served me wrong yet.
There you go, Seth. A very white beer for a very white beer drinker.
There
And
it
I
is.
have
Almost transparent.
That's right. I have some special ones waiting for you when you arrive at my house, Seth.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah. Danny, don't tell Seth I didn't get them yet, but I'll figure something out by then. So
Well,
Seth, it's going to be really
based on your
exciting.
description of Seth there, I think it's called albino ale, and
Yes.
it's called white wit. So, all right, we're all set then.
And they all come in skinny, tall, 30-ounce cans.
I was just
That's
going
what
to say
they
that too. Skinny, tall cans, and
There's one, the gawky gawker.
Yeah.
and everyone has a touch of vanilla in it. So just
Yes.
as much
And
as,
just the flavor's just offbeat. You can't quite put your finger on it. What is that magic ingredient? That's it.
Here we go. Oh,
It's
There
fine.
it is.
No, it's not fine.
Yes. All right. I don't want to get ahead of myself, and I don't want to run out of time here to get to some pine maybe. So, okay, they meet. When you're a hunk like that, all of a sudden you bump into someone. Instead of her pressing charges, there he goes. Look at this hunk.
Yeah.
Instead of her pressing charges, they decide to have beers later. Oh, to be what a hunk. Seth, this must be what your life is like. And Danny, your life must be like. I can't even imagine.
well,
So-
listen, I got to be honest with you. Based on their first meeting, you knew they were going to be pressing something else. So, it was a nice little meeting. I did notice something right away. Now, I have to. I guess this is where I go on a tangent a little bit. When I watch
right.
movies,
Please do.
I analyze the actors.
Okay.
I'm like, I know these people, or I know this person. The actress, Katie Leclerc,
Yes.
actually is her name. Katie Leclerc had a 2-episode stint on The Big Bang Theory.
Oh, yeah?
Can either of you tell me what her character on The Big Bang Theory was known for?
I've never seen The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah, I've seen like maybe 2 episodes.
Okay, well, I'm sure you
Under
know
duress.
if you know anything about the show or heard about it.
Yes.
Rajesh Kuthrapali,
Yeah.
the Indian
I don't know what
Indian
you just
gentleman,
said.
or I mean, how do you say it?
No, I know, but
I don't know.
is this his name or his character's name?
His
Or
character's
real
name is Rajesh Kuthrapali. He was dating
Okay.
her on the show, and
Okay.
he was deaf.
Oh, okay.
Really?
And the catch is, early on in the show, when he dates her, he can't speak to women unless he's drinking. So she was
Oh, okay.
perfect. He could talk to her. She couldn't hear him. So it was the only girlfriend he had that he could actually talk to her. And there's some hijinks, of course. And but
All right,
yeah,
so you were familiar with her,
oh,
actually.
as soon as
That's
she
funny.
popped on the screen, I knew that was the girl from the Big Bang Theory. Yes.
So
Oh, that's
how
so
would you
funny.
connect her to Kevin Bacon?
All right. So she was on the Big Bang Theory with Johnny Galecki, who was on Christmas Vacation with Chevy Chase,
Okay.
who was on Saturday Night Live with John Belushi, who was in Animal House with Kevin Bacon.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Whew.
Well, even Astro's
Very
barking at that.
impressive.
That was awesome. Give yourself a beer, Danny. Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right. Wow. The
Did you
cat-
know he
okay,
could do
actually.
that?
I did
Is this
know he could do
something-
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He can connect you, Seth, through Mario Lopez, I bet. So,
Good luck.
I'd rather not, because some of the movies were actually not allowed to be released in the United States. So I don't want to disclose that information. You know,
Gotcha.
the special relationship Seth and Mario have. You know, so.
That's right. That's a whole nother show. So anyway, but here we are. We're at the brew pub. Yeah. They tell them about the meet cute. They're kind of incredulous. Oh, you never tell us about some random guy you meet. She now, the lady, her name was
Mary.
What's her name in it?
The
Mary.
mother.
Thank you. Oh, Mary's the mother. No, the main lady. What is her name? I have it. Joy.
Oh yeah, Joy. Yes.
Yes. So she finds her dad's old recipe for a beer he wants to brew. She's going through the stuff. She talks to her dad. The light flickers. So maybe
The
it's a
snow globe.
sign.
She found the snow globe.
Yes, I love that magical snow globe. If you're playing Hallmark bingo at home, take a shot. Magical snow globe. There's the
I kinda
hunk whose name
glossed
is.
over that. What was the significance of that? I saw her pick it up, but I was kind of
Well,
like,
the mother gave it to
people-
her. She goes, "Oh my gosh!" And she finds the snow globe, and she gives it, and it's kind of like an inspirational piece for her.
okay,
It made her think back to her times with her dad, What's
Okay.
wrong
Yes.
with
Got
me?
it.
Why do I know this?
You're watching very closely. You took
Yeah.
the assignment seriously.
Absolutely.
I understood the assignment.
That's right. Seth, he didn't want the ignominy of not being invited back. You know, when you're a first-time guest, you want to be invited back. So
Yeah.
he's doing his work. So here we go. The hunk Zach works at Schultz Distributing, which is the equivalent of drinking a Blue Moon. You know,
Yeah.
Schultz is just like a big beer. So,
Yeah.
but okay, Seth, you're all about Schultz. Danny's all about the Mogul Joe's, the craft beer
Mogul
movement.
Joe's.
So they end up, they're just learning about, Hallmark is just learning about the craft beer movement, apparently.
Apparently.
They meet at the, Joy bumps back into the hunk at the Over Easy Cafe. He represents big beer. She is incensed. She's angry, but she's still attracted to him. So he offers to buy her a beer. Again, this is when you're a major hunk. It's like, I hate you. You work for big beer. Oh yeah, sure. I'll meet you later for a drink. That's how it works.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah. It was a whole thing. So now she's deciding to make her own beer. So she's smelling ingredients. The funny thing is she's smelling pine and acting as if she doesn't know the smell of pine. Throughout the movie, the recurring theme is the secret ingredient is pine. And they act like no one would be able to guess this. Like it's some exotic saffron or something. Like
Yeah.
it's pine. You know the smell of pine.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you ever got one of those stupid Christmas tree air fresheners?
yes.
I mean, you gotta
Yes.
know the smell of pine, and or in my house, pine sol.
Oh yes, yes. I
Okay.
know my sister-in-law, your wife, is big into cleaning. And there's
Yeah, we
always
all
a
used to
fresh scent.
chew on pine needles as kids.
Oh yeah,
remember?
absolutely.
That's
Right?
And
That was all of us, right?
And you know what's really? I got to say something else as a craft beer connoisseur. There's a pine is in a lot. As a matter of fact,
Yes.
one of the descriptive words for certain IPAs is piney.
Ah, okay.
So when she was making a big deal about adding pine to this beer, I'm like, I've had beer with pine in it before. So that was
Yeah.
that took it down a notch. I understand where they were going with that part of the storyline, but that took it down a notch for me. I was just like, yeah, there's pine in beer. I mean, there's water in water. I mean, come on,
Right.
let's get down to it.
I'm with you there because we had to suspend disbelief that no one had thought of pine in beer before,
There it
and no
is,
one
yeah.
would know the scent of pine, especially around Christmas time. Living in Vermont,
Yes,
I don't think it's a
Yeah.
secret
I
ingredient.
mean, you look out the window and there's plenty of ingredients apparently.
Yes.
And apparently the Momo Greg who owned Frosties, he didn't know
Oh.
either.
Yeah.
No.
The village.
They're-
Dun, dun, dun. So
Yeah, they're inside people over there in Vermont. They don't get
Yes.
outside in the pine trees
no,
often.
they don't. Apparently, no.
So,
But I
there's
did
Greg.
notice a lot of the walls were like logs. I wonder what trees they came from.
That's right.
It was
Not
just
pine.
wallpaper.
Yeah, not pine. So anyway, they end up talking. He's guessing these beers, which is quite impressive that he guessed all the flavors, and he's studying to be a cicerone, which is a
Yes.
sommelier for beer.
Yeah, I was going to say a beer sommelier. Yes.
Now, Danny, one fun fact about Seth, he has at his estate his very own in-house sommelier and cicerone, and they stay in one room together on bunk beds. And whenever Seth is having beer, one will come out, or wine, the other will come out. It's a fascinating experience.
Well, it's funny because my brother-in-law, not Chad, my other brother-in-law, he had a friend named Josh Cicerone, but he has nothing to do with beer. So
Nothing to do with beer or that.
But no, yeah, but I mean, yeah, he was naming, he was doing Carmel, he was naming the hops. It's pretty impressive. But
Yeah, it was.
once again, he should have said, "This is pine. Come on now." I mean,
That's right.
let's go.
Now, they called him a super taster. Now, when either of you guys taste them, to me, I don't have the best palate for that to discern the different flavors. Are you guys able to discern all the different nuances of beers?
For me, and I'm going to say I'm pretty good with the fruits. And, if you're using a mango, a guava, a tangerine, you can definitely pick these hints up. It makes it obviously a little easier or cheating, so to speak, when you buy it in a can or a bottle. But when you go to the brewery and you're getting it off the tap, that's where the game becomes. Oh, I taste grapefruit, or I taste something along those lines. I'm not a hop aficionado, so to speak. I wish I was. Also, I don't really take my time a lot when I should.
No,
with some
you
of the
do
beers.
drink those beers pretty quickly.
Yes.
Danny's ratio is 4-1 when we're out at the brewery together. I think to mine, something
And
like
that's
that.
before
So.
Chad gets there.
That's right.
But no, it's
I have a
like
good
I said,
gauge for next
I-
Saturday night.
I thought
Yeah,
it was a very neat
exactly.
wrinkle having that knowledge on him.
That was fun.
It did. It set up obviously for the coup de grace, so that was very important.
Yes. Seth, what about you? Are you able to discern these flavors? I know you have a very refined palate after your years of world travel.
Yeah, not so much with beer though. I mean, I could tell you, type of like an IPA or a lager, stuff like that. But yeah, not so much subtleties. Or more
The
nuance.
current one you're drinking, can you taste the moon? Can you tell that it's exactly a blue moon versus, say, a harvest moon or an orange moon?
Having been to the moon a few times just to see what's up there through my private rocket. Yeah, and I've had oranges too, so it's usually paired with an orange.
Aren't you
Or
glad
slice
they
of
introduced
orange.
Seth?
Yes.
And I have been to Belgium, so I know a little bit about what they're like. So yeah, everything
This
kind of
guy.
melding together.
This guy's been everywhere, Danny. Everywhere. He just drops it in there like, oh, I've been to
He's seen a
Belgium.
million faces, and he's
the
rocked
moon.
them
And he's
all.
rocked them all. And he's rocked
Uh-huh.
them all. That's right. So here we go. So now they're getting to know. Let me see. Okay. So they go skiing. They're getting close together. And they start discussing how she tells him, I lost my dad a year ago. And the hunk, who's good looking but not that bright, goes, well, I really hope you find him. No, he didn't say that, but I was hoping that would have been a funny line, I
Like, oh my
thought.
God, did I miss that?
That's the screenplay Seth and I are working on.
Right.
I hope you find him. But anyway, so
You
they're
should open your
getting
eyes.
to
You
know
might see him. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting to know each other. We're seeing some romance and some chemistry. Then he opens up that his wife he's divorced. His wife didn't
Yes,
die. He's
divorced.
divorced. So he went to pursue his dream and find his people, which I guess he means are beer drinkers. I don't know.
I thought
they
it was the
go and
Oompa Loompas, but I wasn't.
Right.
It was very
Wrong
confusing
movie.
at that point. Yeah, exactly.
Danny, that's
Oh,
next
right.
week's
Oh,
movie. Yes.
right. That was a very Wonka Christmas. Okay.
That's right. So that was the most Wonkaful time of year. It's a spin-off Christmas movie.
Oh.
Nice. They should do that one. So anyway, they're hitting it off. He tells her right off the bat, he's like, I really like spending time with you. And then she reveals the type of beer she will brew. And Danny, I was thinking of you because you love IPA. She says, I'm going to brew a holiday IPA.
Now, it's very interesting. I'm trying to figure out exactly how long. I think it was 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Chad and myself, as well as most of our family, got all together and went to Lake Lure, North Carolina. And we went on a day trip. We went to Asheville, North Carolina.
Yes.
Went to Wicked Weed Brewing Company. And we had what they called, we tasted the beer, and it was called Blitzen as the reindeer.
That's right.
And
Nice.
it was
Good
their
memory.
Christmas Belgian beer. And it literally tastes, when they said we want it to taste like Christmas, I'm like, that's exactly how they described the beer when we went to Wicked Weed. Wasn't an IPA, obviously it was a Belgian, and it was fantastic. They only brew it 2 months out of the year. So
I need to get that again.
Yes, but you can only get it. They don't sell it in cans, but you have to go there, fill your growler, and that's the only way you can get it. So
I
5
smell a
hours of
road
beer
trip,
is
Danny.
A little steep, yeah.
Yeah, but I
road trip-
smell road trip. Yeah, I'll go to Asheville. That's where the Biltmore is. We've got to check out the Biltmore. Seth,
Right,
you
that would
come
be
out with
kinda
Mrs.
cool.
X. We go check out the Biltmore.
Yeah.
November,
Yeah.
December. That would be
I wish they would have
wonderful.
built more of them. So, it would have been a lot easier to go with a one out here. Instead, we have.
It really.
So-
one closer to the beach. Yes.
So you had this, you tried this one around Christmas time and
Yes,
stuff like
it
that.
was actually on New Year's Eve on December 31st. We were at the brewery, and we did the beer tour. We got to taste hops and doing all that, and more importantly was we got to taste beers at the end. And this Blitzen was, and I mean, I've been an IPA guy for a very long time, but this Blitzen was easily one of the best beers I've ever had. They describe it as Christmas in a glass, and you taste it. You taste the nutmeg, you taste the cinnamon, you taste the clove.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next
So
question.
good.
Like,
Yes.
when you drank it, you're like, yes, this
It
is
tastes like
a
Christmas.
Christmas
Really,
beer.
imagine Christmas in a glass. That's what it was. It was called Blitzen, like the reindeer. So
That's right.
If we ever get that chance again, they only serve it from the end of November to the end of January. That's it.
At the tap room.
At the tap room, exactly. You can't get it anywhere else.
Okay.
So I have friends who used to live in the area, and they were like, when we went there, they were out. It goes that fast. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, so it's something we definitely need to get our hands on. It'd be nice around Christmas time, obviously.
Yeah,
do
would be
it,
nice.
it'd be nice to have that. So
I got to talk to some of the higher ups in my my beer club. Like, when the holidays get here, I don't want you guys sitting around.
We can take the G6 down there and get the Blitz.
Exactly.
I like that idea.
Chemists, engineers, what do you need?
And maybe you can pull them off the meth production in your laboratory and have them do beer around Christmas.
That's a real cash cow. Maybe pull from somewhere else, like the orphanage or I don't know, other social
the robot
services.
hand division,
Right, exactly.
That, so.
Look at that robot sound.
Oh my god!
All right, there we go. So here we go. So now we're moving on. She reveals the type of beer. They're at their brewery. They're checking out the different hops and stuff. Their hands touch. There's a surprisingly long and detailed scene about beer making. I'm like, they must have reserved that place for the day, and we're getting their money's worth. She asked them to try 3 IPAs. Zach and the X are now at Frosty's. The Hunk is now asking the X to add another holiday beer on tap for Christmas. Are there any catchy names that they were thinking of? They came up with a Hoppy Holiday. Now, did you have any catchy Christmas beer names in mind while you were listening? I should have asked you that sooner, but I thought that was fun. Oh, they also, on this next scene, by the way, besides the weird, very generic, low-budget soundtrack, they're going through a guest book, and then she gets a gift of a sleigh that's like in the malts or the hops. I thought that was very unhygienic. I do not like gifts hidden in the malt.
Well, if I may, during the beer process, don't worry, that stuff's going to get taken care of. So, beer making.
It'll taste like sleigh.
Burns off.
Maybe that's the secret ingredient.
But in the sleigh was the sword. I'm still trying to figure out the sword in the sleigh.
I don't know.
A little tiny sword, and I thought it was like to pick her teeth, or maybe to skewer some tiny little cheese. I don't know. So
right, maybe they're referencing that it's both a sword and a shield, and that which you use as a sword cannot also be used as a shield. That old
maybe I don't know. I was hoping that the beer would be called because she was starting to feel a little close to him. There was a little flicker, a little romance happening. It should have been called "You Slay Me."
You slay me. I like that.
I like that.
Sorry, my dog is going crazy. I'm trying to get him out of here. He's very excited.
He wants beer.
He's very excited. Uncle Dandy's. Oh, we'll get him out. Don't worry. And it's not a soundtrack. I like it. It's like a Jane's Addiction album. Let's think of that and just embrace it.
I've been caught stealing once when I was 5. So
look at Seth's drum set behind him, by the way, Dan.
I see that. He's a regular Neil Peart back there. I mean,
right? A little John Bonham here. Okay, good.
Or Buddy Poor instead of Buddy Rich. So
that's right, exactly. Astro is leaving the building. Good. We can resume. Okay, so here we go. There's a guitarist playing at Mogul Joe's. We've discussed music here recently. We'll not get into that right now because Danny's got some great musical stories. We'll do it another time. Unless Danny, you want to throw anything in about that? Great story.
I mean, I want to be the star of this one, not him. So let's just do that.
That's right. That's right. Although when you're on with Seth is always the star. It's just crazy.
I know. I'm the also ran. I understand that.
I'm number 3, but it's just Seth. It's just he's Michael. It's no shame to be Scottie Pippen when you're on Michael.
So, I mean, come on.
I get it. Look, on the Christmas Cousins, he's Michael Jordan. I'm Scottie Pippen. I've accepted my role, so it's fine. So here we go. How does that feel, Seth?
I'm Luke Longley. Okay.
Seth, how does that feel? No matter what realm you're in, you're always the top dog. How must that feel?
It's a lot. I'll be very honest. It's a whole lot to carry on my shoulders. I'm very happy to pass it off.
Yes. In most text chains, I'm on like 4 different text chains with Seth and Danny. I can start doing this with you. I get pictures of Seth and I text them to random text chains to people. So I make him the star too of any text chain as well. So.
I'm going to start tagging him in all my posts too, so everybody
Yes.
can follow him.
Yes.
Can you believe this guy?
So anyway, I think we're talking about a movie. Okay, so there's a tension here with Joy. He's an ex. Why are you here? They confront each other. Okay, are you seriously rehashing this again? She argues with the ex. Now, I'm big in literature and literacy and the English language. If you're saying, you don't say, are you rehashing this again? That redundancy was killing me. You're either rehashing this or you're doing it again. It's not rehashing again. The inherent nature of the definition of the word is rehashing. Means again.
Right. Yeah.
I was killing it.
Again. I think a lot of the
Danny's gonna
dialogue in
jump out
this
of the window.
movie was very much on the nose. It was just like, all right, like just force feeding it to you. And it's just like, we do this. And remember, we're broken up. And remember, we start to get this new brew or this new IPA. It's just like, almost like reiterating it. Like, no, we got it. We got it. You don't have to.
A lot of exposition where they're telling us clearly, like, you are my ex-boyfriend. Aren't you? Good to see you, Joe, my ex-boyfriend. I got you.
Yes.
You know, it's interesting. I've never seen a Hallmark movie before, but as soon as this happened, I said, boy, this sounds really familiar. And, you know, I had to stab myself with a knife to stay awake at this point. So, but what the thing that I took from this section is that Greg's a POS. And, and I knew that, obviously, once again, foreshadow. So, you know, you knew it was coming, but take a hint, bro. Take a hint.
Yeah, just the way he walks into Mogul Joe's in the beginning when was it Kevin's outside putting up decorations?
Like,
yeah.
And
yeah,
you know, Kevin is a Kevin worked at the bar, by the way. Terrible bouncer. So
well, we have to explain who Kevin is. Kevin was the guy who worked at the bar. They treat him like family. He's very close to Joy, the leading lady, and her mom, Mary. Yes, but
he's the one who gave it up.
He did. So let's get to that. So there's a secret ingredient in the beer she makes, and he inadvertently tells the ex what it is.
Well,
so
no,
it was
he actually
crazy.
told Old Man River, and the ex overheard him.
Right.
Yes. Right.
Why do I know all this?
You're watching very closely.
You're glued to it.
Seth, can you tell Danny they do get much better than this one, correct? Like this is lower on the scale, you would say?
Well,
absolutely.
I understand. No, I get it. But, you know, the thing is, you know, I can't rate this movie. I'd love to, but every time I think about it, I think about beer, and that always lifts it up in my book. So, I mean.
Yeah, it's a 10 out of 10. Danny's claiming it better than The Godfather after 7 beers. Before, it's not so good.
It's like Beer Fest is like another great movie.
That's right. There will be some beers flowing Saturday night, gentlemen. I can't believe we all have the concert to go to. It's going to be so fun. This is going to be awesome. But back to this movie. So anyway, she gets a text now that Frosty's is serving a holiday IPA. They come out with a hoppy holiday IPA, but the rival X bar is now serving his own called the Season of Spice because, as we know as viewers, they stole it. But Joy, the leading lady, thinks that the hunk stole it. So she calls his office absolutely apoplectic about Schultz stealing the happy holiday recipe. Joy confronts the hunk. Then the hunk is mad that she thinks that he would steal it, that he would go behind her back. Things are getting absolutely crazy at this point. I couldn't take it. I need to go for a walk in fresh air.
But I got to listen. It's 2024. Yeah. Put a damn camera in your damn office. I mean, come on. She's over there blaming Harry Hamlin. And I mean, what's going on? Perseus is like, no, I didn't do it. And you got what you call it, the nerd from Revenge of the Nerds. I'm gonna take this recipe. I mean, get the cameras in there. You're gonna get
that's right.
I mean, you got to be counting money back there, unless your brewery's really that bad. You ain't counting money.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry.
One thing
I flashed back to my retail management days. I'm sorry.
I love the passion. And one thing you'll learn about Hallmark is they exist in another world. So in this world, they don't have digital cameras yet. They don't have craft beers. They're just learning them. They don't have pine in beer.
I mean, you knew there were squirrels in the trees. Put one in the camera. It'll run the camera.
That's right. That's right. So the only one she thinks who knew the secret ingredient was Zach. Then her mom admits that Kevin, who's the worker there, was the one who knows. But it was weird that the whole movie, again, is hinging on the secret ingredient as being something as obvious as pine. So this happens in every movie. There's like 20 minutes left in the movie. So what happens? They get into an argument. There's a misunderstanding.
Mhm.
They end up where the hunk leaves. They think it's over with. The evil X is telling her, "Look, we are going to now have the contest is who
The
gets
beer
the best
contest.
beer."
Yeah, and I'm being sponsored by the big beer company.
Schultz.
Right.
Good old Schultz beer.
Schultz beer.
They should have just said Schlitz and got it over with. So
seriously, I know.
You know what threw me, or maybe I locked in on it, and I thought it was going to possibly be tied into a secret ingredient or something. But I think the mother makes a comment. She's like, "Pumpkin is not Joy's favorite." I was like, "Okay, are they gonna do anything with that?" But
all right, so so what I thought about that immediately was, number one, her name is Joy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Number two, she doesn't like pumpkin. She's Christmas, man. That's all she is.
That's okay. I like
She's
that.
all
You're
about
right.
Christmas. She's not about the let me get a pumpkin latte. No. She's all about the Christmas. All about the cheer, the Christmas, and pumpkins are not her thing. Snowballs and trees are her thing.
Okay.
All right. The human embodiment of Christmas, like Seth is becoming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be Sethmas soon. I know that he's tried to copyright the name Sethmas. So we're working on that. So.
Danny, when you have a team of lawyers like Seth has, you don't worry about it. You just have an idea in your head. You go
Tiedemann Howe is his team that he has.
Exactly.
You can have crazy ideas like mine in the middle of the night, and people act on it. It's great.
That's right. It is. Seth, one day we'll have to just do a whole episode of your zaniest ideas.
Hi-yo!
Okay.
All right, so let's wrap this.
Who am I kidding? I have someone write them down.
Yeah, record
this. You're going to want to.
So basically, what happens now? There's a misunderstanding. They end up making up because they find out that no, he didn't tell them the secret ingredient. Danny, what am I missing here?
She meets up with him when she realizes that when they meet it up, he was skiing with his dad.
Yes,
Nathaniel, and Nathaniel plays a key role at the end of this movie.
Yeah, so let's get that away. So they have the contest, right? There's a lot going on. They switch beers. They prove that it's the same beer. Mm-hmm. We're 52 minutes in. We're not getting into the minutia at this point, but they end up where all is well. The guy's a jerk. They find out. They apologize. They make up. They end up. They kiss. It turns out Nathaniel, the dad of the hunk, is the head of craftbeer.biz, this huge beer website that helps promote her happy holidays. The Mogul Joe's is saved. Their relationship is saved. The town is saved. Christmas is saved.
And she tells Big Beer Pharma to go pound salt. Right. I don't need your contract. I'm going to be all set here. That's what she said. Listen, we know how the relationship's going to turn out. The hunk is going to get, he's going to see some other snow bunny. And then, but all that matters is she got the beer distributed the right way. Small business.
Small is right. So that was a good way to go here. Now, the interesting thing is, I think you might be right, Danny. He may have different girlfriends at different bars that he visits. The way he moved in quickly.
The guy's an alcoholic. I mean, come on.
Seriously.
I'm a craft beer connoisseur. Just make a name. I'm a connoisseur about.
I heard Crackhead Bob was the original lead in this movie.
That's it. So anyway, so that was it. They made up. They kissed. Overall, let's get into some ratings here. Out of 5 beers, 5 being the highest. Let's go with our guest first. Danny, what would you give this? Now, you have no other Hallmark movies to judge this against, but just in terms of enjoyment, Christmas feels.
I mean, I you got to give it a 3. I mean, obviously, maybe 3 and the 4th beer that the keg kicked. So it's like a half beer. So
3.5. I like that.
It definitely had its moments. Once again, beer probably carries 2 of the 3.5 beers.
Not the dialogue. Not the
dialogue. It was a little robotic. they could have did a better job on the leading man. I love the leading woman. She's got a nice little smile, very girl next door type. I think she was perfect from what I hear and what I've seen before in Hallmark movies. She fit the bill. Like I said, he seemed like kind of a lummox, and Kevin. He played an actually important role because he snuck the beer out. There's so many things.
Yes, Kevin was the worker.
But I don't think he was right for the part. I think they could have did a better job in casting there. I love the scenery, ski slopes. I can't ski, but it's always nice to look at. And like I said, I give it a solid 3. I'm going to stick with 3.
Okay. That's fair. A 3 isn't bad, Seth.
No. It's not. And I was, as Danny was talking, I was thinking to myself, I was kind of in the area of 3. And I like, she was a great actress. I enjoyed her performance. The guy, that's where I say Danny and I kind of see eye to eye. He was kind of a lummox. It was just exacting. It was kind of like he was just there. I don't know how to describe it, but
I got you right. He wasn't. There was no Tyler Hines, in other words.
Yeah, there was nothing dynamic or really exciting about him. It was just kind of like, all right, he was there as kind of a place filler, and I was like, all right. And then, overall, I mean, I like the storyline. I like that it is in July. It's Christmas in July, so it is kind of out of season. Welcome back.
All good.
Sorry,
that's the best part.
So, Seth, the fact that it was Christmas in July.
Chad's lawyers, Chad. They were very upset that I'm stealing the show. Yes.
They made you cease and desist in life.
No,
Seth,
they actually said they actually gave me some pointers to take over the show. So I don't know.
Nice.
We'll see what happens.
Cousin Danny, everybody, Cousin Danny. So, Seth, let me ask you, because it was a July movie, and this is your first Christmas in July where you've paid any attention, did that make it a lower bar for you? In other words, if this came out during November, December, you would have said
what was Seth's rating, by the way?
So
he didn't get there yet.
Oh, yeah. I didn't get there.
That's okay. He's been filibustering.
Right. Or rambling, whatever you call it.
Phil, who? I thought it was Seth.
That's right. So, Seth, what are you giving it?
So I think I'm going to give it 3 IPAs. And if anyone that knows me, I'm on a statin and I can't have grapefruit. So that's a pretty generous rating.
Wow.
Yeah, but no, it wasn't awful. I kind of lost it with Zach's acting or Ryan McPartland's acting, but maybe it's not the right role for him.
No, right. I think I saw a movie with a statue in it the other day. It probably would have been really good in that one.
Right.
More charisma. Gotcha. Well, I am giving this is crazy because Seth will tell you everything I like in these movies, small town, Vermont, mountain, snow, the decor. You would think this had a potential for a 5 with me. And I have a low bar. I just want these to be escapist and fun and positive. But the decor was lacking. Danny, you haven't seen as many of these to know they're normally like it's a full Christmas explosion everywhere, which is really fun. Like every scene, every corner. This one, their outfits weren't even all that Christmassy, so there was room to go. And of course, some of the acting, some dialogue. I did like it though. It was fun. If this was a December, November thing, I don't on it like it wouldn't have held up to the others, I think. But I'm right there with you guys. I am going to give it right in that same range. Here we go. The big drum roll. I'm going to give it 3 1/4 beer. And that last quarter beer is kind of stale and left in the bottom. So it's not that big of an improvement, but just a little more.
Even with the rehashing of the hashing?
Redundancy knocked it down. Definitely a 1/4 point for me. Yes. Thankfully, they didn't dangle any participles because there would have been a whole nother story going on.
By the way, Chad, I just thought of it. They should have had cameras. They had smartphones. Get the cameras.
You're right. Get the cameras. That's right. They're waiting. That's Smith money on the goggles. They could have done.
I was going to say, absolutely.
That's it. So anyway, we covered it all. We went through this movie inside, outside, up the slope, down the slope, through the sleigh ride slope, everything. And this was a fascinating look. Danny, I love that you joined us and gave us your take on it. You've seen so many movies. You're very opinionated as it is in terms of what movies you like, what you do and don't like about it. And so it was good that you got to share that with us. Of course, everybody check him out, the King of Grillin. You can check him out on Instagram at King of Grillin, GRILLIN_NC2. He had another account that was at like 10,000, got torn down because he was blowing up the grill world too much. It's a whole nother story. But anyway, check him out. The problem is you can't taste his food. You can only look at it. Seth and I, we get to actually taste it, which is amazing. It's amazing. I'm ready for a nice big grilling out. So I just sit there and hang out. Danny does all the work. It's like our show, Seth, with you're just hanging out and I do all the work. It's nice.
You're the Danny of the podcast world.
That's right.
Yes.
Well, Danny, we hope you enjoyed. We definitely want to have you back on, and everybody who wants to reach out to us, Cousin Seth, at Christmas Cousins Pod on Instagram and Facebook, or christmascousinspod@gmail.com. Keep those ratings and reviews coming, please. It helps others find us, spread the Christmas Cousins community, and enjoy this beautiful world of Cousin Seth, everybody. And to our live studio audience.
All the cousins.
All the Cousins community.
And I guess it goes without asking or saying anything, but I mean, or is it weird that do we make Danny an honorary cousin, or does that, I don't know if that in any way cancels out his current standing in the family?
That is on you, Seth. So what do you think, Seth?
Oh, I say absolutely.
Absolutely. Look at that.
Hi-yo. Oh my goodness. I'm so honored. I'd like to thank the Academy, and for all of those for this work.
They like you. Yeah. We really like you. We like you. We really like you. That's it. Well, thank you, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you, Seth and Danny, and we will see you all soon. Thank you for joining Christmas Cousins, everybody. This is awesome.
I'll see you guys very soon.
Yeah, it's like 72 hours or something. I just have to move into a new house between then, Seth, and get your bed baked.
Please. I need somewhere to sleep.